Just looking out on the day of another dream, where you can't get what you want, but you can get me. So let's set out and see, 'cause you are my medicine when you're close to me. When you're close to me. The call and the submarines round the world will go. Does anybody know if we're looking out on the day of another dream? If you can't get what you want, then come with me. Up on Melancholy Hill sits the manatee, just looking out for the day when you're close to me. When you're close to me.
And they're doing that to a T right now. After watching that replay, actually, I mentioned that Vanyo actually found heals. I have no doubt they actually set that up, right?
Yeah,
Because they had the edit,
100%.
right? So they had all the heals in there, they had everything that they knew that was there, and even on those comms as well. Really impressed with this team because, of course, their first native language is not English. They're communicating in English. We heard it in that listening right there, and that's so hard for people that live in, of course, different countries and are from different countries, speak different languages. I mean, I feel like we don't talk about it enough in Fortnite, but that is a skill in itself.
I mean, and that's a really good call out when you say that when Queasy is doing poorly, that's when Vanya does well. And I actually think those are the few games that they've won for height.
Yeah.
Paying attention to that elimination feed, noticing that, oh, the team that is being able to control height is down. This is now our opportunity to take it. They're taking full advantage of everything. Again, it's awareness. And usually I use that in the sense of map awareness, but just all of the game sense that you need to be at a top level. That is what they're showcasing here today.
And they're not new to height either. This is what they're used to. Right? They're going back to what they know. So it's like, you know, they had a very good day one, and we were like, yeah, they're playing a different sort of play style. They're playing low ground. They're playing consistently. Now you think like, oh, they're trying to go for height. You usually associate that with a team that's trying to change things up and go against the grain to what they're usually doing. This is like more normal for them than what they were doing yesterday.
Another team that I really want to give a shout out there too is, of course, one from our smaller region in the top 10 right now, and that's King, Phaser, and PhZ.
Yeah.
They played that game so smart, where they kind of went for this dead side rotation. The zone went up a hill, and everyone's starting to climb up, fighting for a position, and they just kind of went around the hill. That can be a little dangerous. Obviously, building up the hill, if the zone doesn't pull favorably, can be disastrous, but luck had it their way. They were able to pull zone and then kind of control the low ground. It was really smart from them, and I love to see our Brazilian trio up in the top 10.
Can't forget as well, they came to NA, right? They
Yeah, they
decided
did.
they
Yeah, of
wanted
course.
more practice. They wanted to kind of refine their skill set. And Mini, that's showing here on a global stage.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
And also, they played in EU in last chapter as
Yeah.
well. Chapter 5, they came on over to EU, had a little go there as well. It wasn't necessarily successful for them, but showing what they can do here.
That's right, Mini. I'd love to keep talking. That battle bus horn has come, so it is time. Game number 11. Let's go.
Game 11. There's only 2 chances left for every team in this lobby from around the world to get points and rise up that leaderboard. We're seeing the top 4. Anything is achievable. but we had Levin on the last broadcast hyping up, representing EU. I had to bring a brother from NA over. Vivid is going to grace us here this time around.
Jacob, they had to bring in all the stops for this one. We've been talking about it all day. Yeah, NA's looking a little rough. We're still fighting for third place right now, but we know how the fights early game are going on. It's all about Rangers ruin.
And Tayson, gonna be the first touchdown, grabs the chest. Chino running around, but nowhere left to run. Pablo, though, with the sweeper, finds Tayson. It's gonna be Chicho brought down next by Prodoxy. 2 versus 1 scenario, but Atris has a real chance. Atris takes out Pablo. It's all down to the 1v1, and Prodoxy immediately heading for the high ground. Doesn't want to get trapped with the swarm, but that separation, he hasn't had a chance to utilize his shield potion just yet. Atris, on the other hand, wrapping around, taking out, stopping Fred in the midst of healing. But Atris, he just can't close the gap. He doesn't have any materials. Prodoxy doesn't have a whole lot left to work with either, but he has the build in his favor. And Atris, he'll opt to try and trade, but it's the patented Fred Lurk, and he's creeping up. Atris can't get the revive. Prodoxy through the window, and Atris still can't find it.
He got multiple pieces through that wall, and even the cone inside. He's trying to distract him long enough while he backtracks and tries to go revive for revive. So no longer going to be a 1v1. Tayson and Pablo are back into the game, but business as usual. Kazi, Tinka, and Aspect are looking to third party this fight.
Oh my gosh, it's the same story over and over. The hesitation comes in. We know the third party's going to come in, but if you take a look at the map, there's only one orange arrow. Maybe the full commit has not come in just yet. We'll have to see how this one plays out.
It's almost like sending in the lone scout. Try and figure out, is this really worth getting involved with just yet? But Tayson, Atris, they've got such an advantage now over Pablo and Prodoxy. Their HP rapidly dwindling away here as Tayson now just waiting for that final opportunity, but without a shotgun, he doesn't feel confident enough, and for good reason, because one good bug shot could be the end of it. Prodoxy's gonna opt to try and get away, but Atris just too accurate. Atris immediately panning the other direction, and that'll be the end of Prodoxy's team.
When Prodoxy hit that crash pad, Atris had 9 medium bullets left. By the time he got that elimination, 4 well-placed shots. He gets the elim, they win off spawn, and just like Prodoxy had those chances, a comeback opportunity for Tayson.
But Vivid, you know, we've been watching that off spawn take place all day long. You have to expect that surely third party is still going to want to get involved.
Yeah, I mean, the reboot, right? That's going to be on their minds. Is that going to be possible? We know when you go ahead and reboot, there's a giant beam that comes out from the sky. Lets everybody know, but oh my gosh, Darm, Damus, and Pix, they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Pix is going to be down. Malibuca, Watts, and Pings, they have advantage in this fight, and they know how stacked the top side of the leaderboard is, and they're not scared. They want to continue to put the pressure. It's just a matter of, did they see Darm? Did they see Demus rotate over in that direction towards the rainbow field? And I do think they did. Crash pads coming out. They're trying to close the gap.
Battle between 3rd and 7th, it's just not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze here for Bolin and Demus Darm. Fortunately enough for them, Malibuca not checking the bushes, a little bit lackadaisical.
And this is how we know it's game 11, right? With only a couple chances left for some of these teams to pick up points. This is atypical for Malibuca, Walks, and Ping. We've seen them kind of base up early every single game. But now the push, the aggression, they got to be thinking about the points they need.
It's just all too close for comfort. Swizzy, Queasy, and Murstache know full well they had such a monumental lead to start the day, but it only took several matches, and they've watched those points quickly go the other direction for everybody else except them.
Yeah, you get a little bit of a deeper look, looking towards the north, trading shots with Mr. Savage and the entire trio towards the west. It is going to be Goofy in the time and distance separating these two teams. It's going to take a crash pad and a Flowberry Fizz, and it still might not even be enough as we jump on board Sadie, Panzer, Yapko. The crowd just constantly letting them know how they feel. And since the zone is coming over towards the Kappa Kappa factory, you can see this is where they're going to set up to try to get that damage.
I mean, yeah, this is something that we've seen across every single one of the games, right? Yapko just kind of based up early on. Seti, you might be looking at his inventory like, why does he have nothing in there? That's because he's going around the entirety of the map, making sure that his team is going to be set up very, very nicely for the rest of the game while they go ahead and pick up all of the damage.
Elsewhere, you see some of the action going on. Baka getting a knock onto a adapter. Hasn't cleaned up the elimination yet, but Darm has been found out. Walks and pings. They take the 2v1. One step closer to sending the entire trio back to the lobby, but Malabuka ends it as well. And the 1v1 against Demas. Third place is out of there.
Malabuka might have missed them the first time, but they knew they had to still be local to the area. There's only so far that they can actually squirm away to, and the fact that they just get completely ran down here by Walks, Ping, and Malabuka, those are the types of aggressive plays you have to make when you are in 7th place and you're staring down a leaderboard that is so tight-knit.
The crowd just constantly cheering for anybody on the MA or Havoc squad, letting them know, like, hey, take our energy, you guys have this. As Yamzo clicks and Higgs, different strategy this time around. Instead of sitting on top of Supernova Academy, they are going for a lurk, Nada, Rapid, and Bolts, and they do see all the information in the feed. So if any of them do get knocked, I expect Clicks and his trio to run straight over and try to get the chop, clean up what could be good damage.
Yeah, but this is something that we've seen before, right? Socials were kind of talking about how Clicks, yeah, they might have gotten knocked on this exact trio before, but they were a little bit hesitant to go ahead and push, right? Are we going to see something similar right now? Will they go ahead and full commit? I mean, 12th place going into game number 11, you would imagine they got to be thinking this time, we got to go for it.
But sometimes, if you let it sit too long, your plate starts to go cold, and if they don't act fast, they're gonna maybe have to watch this opportunity completely pass them by. The big thing here, too, is that Kanata and Bolts, they're not even replenishing their shields. They are totally content with being knocked inside of their surge base. They've got Rapid, healthy. I mean, that